Welcome to the High Level Entrepreneur, a podcast with me, Joala Skog. In today's episode, I'm going to share a couple of trends that I'm seeing in the marketplace right now. So you can consider this like a secret between you and me. And I also want to emphasize that this is something that I'm seeing. It's not something that I would say is like a certain fact, but this is what I believe, based on what I'm seeing, will turn into a trend and into a little bit of a new era in the marketplace. And that's why you can take what I say with a grain of salt, but you can also take it as like literally getting secret information. So take it as you will, because again, this is trends that I'm seeing. It's something that I believe we're walking towards. And I do tend to, throughout the years, ever since like I was young, starting out in marketing and social media, I always saw trends like years before they came. And it was the same when I entered into the marketplace as a marketing consultant. And I told everyone like TikTok is going to be the next new big platform for brands to be on. And literally no one else in my industry was saying that that's the case. They were like, no, that's not true. This is an app for kids. Brands should definitely not be here. And I completely disagreed. So I do tend to have an intuition about where things are moving towards. But again, take this with a grain of salt. And if you listen to this podcast episode, I would love to hear from you if you agree with me on these things, or if you disagree, or like what your general thoughts are about this, because it's actually so interesting for me to hear. So the number one thing and trend that I'm seeing right now is that in general, there are exceptions for sure, but we are going to be seeing that high ticket buyers are taking slower and slower time, like more and more time to make an investment. And they are going to need way more content, way more different sides of you, way more different formats before they make a decision. And before, maybe it was okay to just follow you on LinkedIn and just see you in one format, and then they would invest. And maybe before, they would be able to make a quicker decision from attending a webinar or something like that. And then maybe they were like on a few emails, but now we're going to see them make slower investment decisions, which means that building long-term brand and industry leadership in the eyes of this ideal client is going to be super, super important. And building a relationship with your audience is going to be so key. And the people that are winning are the ones who have always had the long-term, always played the long-term game and continue to play the long-term game. So that's something that I'm seeing. And it's something that I believe we're going to see more of, like just people taking longer to make a decision. Maybe not when they inquire. I'm not saying that they're going to think about it for longer, but it's going to take them longer to actually become ready to buy. Like they're going to need more time. And we already see that happening now in comparison to years ago. Like audiences and consumers are more mature. They've made several high-ticket premium investments in the past. Sometimes they're disappointed from previous investments. So they're more hesitant to invest again. And they're just going to be generally more skeptical and more like need more time. That's one thing that I think we're seeing. And again, message me on Instagram if you agree with me. Like I would love to hear from you. The next thing I think is we're going to see, and this kind of relates to this as well, we're going to see that those classic strategies that people used to teach that worked for some people, like the cold strategies. And when I say the cold strategies, I mean either like cold outreach strategies or the cold, like, you know, I do an ad for a webinar and then I have the webinar and then I convert people. We're going to see how that works less and less. I'm not going to say it's going to completely stop working, but I'm already seeing it in the marketplace, how some things that used to work well to convert people, like webinars, trainings, live trainings, it's not that they're no longer working, it's that they're not working as well. Like leads are becoming more expensive when it comes to the ad spend, first of all. The second thing is people are less likely to even sign up at all, because there are so many webinars out there and there's so many webinars fighting for their attention. The third thing, it's hard to even get them to come at all, live especially, and then you have to get them to watch the recording, and then you're gonna have to get them to want to buy from you despite the fact that they only spend a day with you or a few days with you in that webinar. I'm not saying once again that this isn't working. There are a lot of people that this is still working for, but I'm just seeing that it's not working as well as it used to. So I think this is a trend. I think we're going to see that it's going to work less and less. And so if those people already have a brand and very strong brand and industry leadership, they might still do well. But if you haven't invested into your brand and industry leadership and relationship building and long-term, and you're not playing the long-term game, you're only playing the conversion game, like for those of you, it's going to become very, very difficult soon, right? And that's why usually I get a lot of those people coming to me as well. Like they're actually selling and they're doing well, but they've never done it from a place of like industry leadership and long-term game, like relationship building, truly being an authority, and having that level of industry leadership that people will buy from you no matter what, because they rely on a strategy that they learned from some program, and that strategy has worked, but again, it won't work as well. Another thing that I'm seeing in the marketplace that I'm still not like 100% sure about, but my intuition says that it's like this. And I really believe that that's what we're moving towards. And I'll tell you why in a second. But I think that we are going to be seeing that the offers that people really struggle to sell are the mid-level offers. And the offers that are going to still work very well are the low ticket offers and the high ticket offers. So when I say the mid-level offers, I think the offers that people are struggling to sell are going to be like from $500 up to like a couple of $1,000. I would argue around there is going to be harder to sell, is going to become harder to sell. And what's still going to work is like high ticket, like higher ticket investments, like higher ticket offers, and low ticket. Okay. Why do I believe this? So I believe this not only from what I'm seeing, but also because of AI, I think a lot of people are very hesitant on paying for like knowledge, unless that is going to be either highly personalized to them to the extent where they are joining something and knows that they're actually getting personalization. Like they're getting someone's eyes on their business or their situation or their problem, whatever that person is. They're getting like VIP experiences. They're getting quality over quantity. They're getting to join something where not everyone can join. Like it's kind of exclusive, it's limited. Like people are still gonna want high level experiences. People are still gonna want personalization, right? Because that's something that AI can't create. AI can't create VIP experiences. They can't create personalization. They can't have another human being looking at their business or looking at their life or whatever it is, right? And they can't create these intimate connections with other people. Like those things, I think is gonna be still something people want to invest in. And the same with low ticket offers. Like low ticket offers that are like there are really good low ticket offers. Like there are really quality good low ticket offers where you can pay below $100 or like around $100 and get a lot of value for that. And what's so good about that is like the person who sells the low ticket offer maybe even used AI to put that together, who knows? But the person who pays is like paying from someone with a brand and authority to say like, this is really good and this really works and I really need you to buy this. And it's so cheap and accessible that people are gonna buy it. And it's going to be positioned and marketed so well that people are gonna buy it. Like they don't have to think about it. So I believe the offers that will struggle are like the mid-level offers where we see people selling like a group program for 12 weeks, or like mid-level offer where like you get to try something. Like, I'm not gonna say again it's not gonna work, because it is still gonna continue to work. I just believe that we're going to see a trend of people that think it used to work really well to sell their mid-level offers. That's gonna work less well, and we're going to see more people either go towards selling low ticket and thinking more like, okay, I'm selling to as many people as possible and I'm just focusing on that, or they're selling high ticket, or combining the two. Okay, so they're like using the low ticket as a way to get access to or upgrade to the high ticket space. Like, this is what I believe. This is my intuition, and you don't have to take this as truth. Like, I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, is my offer no longer going to work? However, I do want you to think about, like, is my offer a must-have or a nice-to-have? Like, that's really key, because nice-to-have offers is not going to continue to work. And you should never sell nice-to-have offers, because you want to make sure that your business is like recession proof, and it doesn't matter what happens in the world. Like, people are still going to be needing your services. It's not a nice to have that you pay for when you have a lot of extra money to spare, right? Unless your target audience is someone who is already on that level where they're not affected by things like recession, right? So don't think about it in terms of like, am I selling a mid-level offer, high ticket or low ticket? Think about it more like, is my offer actually a must-have offer, or is it a nice-to-have offer? Okay. I also think we're going to see a trend of people moving towards selling I do it for you. And I've seen people say this as well, but it's something that I've noticed amongst clients too, or they've gone from like selling coaching only or advising people only to actually doing some of the work for the client, like actively doing some of the work. Because sometimes, first of all, that's just easier to do it for the client instead of having the client do it and they're not doing it very well. It might even be faster, but it's also more valuable to the client, because they might be getting a mixture of someone who's like an external consultant or advisor or coach, but they're also like actively doing some work. And that doesn't mean that it's not a high ticket offer, because quite the opposite. I think people will move into I do it for you and charge more for that. And I think mindset wise, this is difficult for some people, because some people have been consultants in the past and they moved away from consulting because they didn't want to be operative inside another person's business or into a business. And that's why they moved away from consultancy and they went into like, I want to do advisory packages or strategic packages or coaching. And coaching and advisory and stuff like that is still going to continue to work. However, what's going to continue to work even better is if there's a mixture between doing the advisory and the coaching with a part of like, I do it for you. And there are different aspects of I do it for you that you can implement into your offer. It doesn't have to be like, I become a part of your team and I do it for you. It could be something else that you deliver to clients that they can easily use or execute or like implement in their business or implement in their lives that makes them feel like they get like 3-in-1, basically. So I think we're going to see more I do it for you aspects inside offers. And I'll use an example. Like, let's say a copywriter who has a copywriting program or copywriting service where usually they would only advise people and help people like become better writers, or they would like coach people or do courses or programs, right? And teach them. That copywriter can now also sell copywriting services, but like high level services. So it's only to premium clients that are ready to pay more than they would ever pay for a group program or coaching space, right? Like they're going to charge more because they're going to be able to position their copywriting as like, well, I created all of this results for my clients when I was a copywriting coach. And now if you really want the VIP version, I will go to your business and do it for you. So it's like you're already placing yourself as like an industry leader and a true expert because you already helped other people create these amazing results. So working with you and paying you a lot of money to do some of the work is going to be super valuable for people. So that's something that I see. I also see that, and I've said this for a long time, that I think we're going to have to see more innovation in the marketplace when it comes to offers, when it comes to marketing strategies. Like we've seen for a long time, people just copying each other and people doing similar strategies that someone else is doing, similar marketing strategy, similar launch strategy. I think more creativity and more innovation is needed in order to stand out and not seem like everyone else. Like if you are thinking of a marketing strategy to do and the only thing you can think of is a webinar, we have a problem, right? Like if that's the only thing you can think of, or if you want to start teasing your offer and you are dropping hints like everyone else is, like, again, we're all seeing it from thousands of people at the same time. So you're going to have to do something that stands out and is different from other people. Something else I think is going to be key is like in real person experiences, IRL experiences, and doing it as either part of your marketing strategy, like having IRL experiences as like events and things like that to meet people, meet leads, speak to them, but also having experiences as part of your offer. For example, in Industry Leader Lounge, we have minimum 2 yearly in-person CEO rooms where we meet somewhere in Europe for 1 or 2 days. And we really focus on your business and we focus on having these high-level discussions and workshops that really move your business forward and truly energizes and inspires you. And just from the fact that I had this, like this was my 3rd time doing an event like this with my clients in ILL, and just noticing like the transformations that they have just during 2 days, the connections they make with each other, and this deep experience that they have, that they end up leaving that workshop and feeling so motivated and so inspired and like immediately taking action. And I think there's just something unique about that. And also the fact that like I was able to tell my clients in that room about the upgraded version of our Industry Leader Lounge, which I'm so excited about, because Industry Leader Lounge, we are focusing way more on helping you become an industry leader in 12 months and helping you become the CEO of your business so you can actually scale your business and be more in industry leadership and less in the daily like operations and, you know, thinking of just managing your business. Like we want you to sell to premium clients. We want you to be an industry leader. We want you to be a CEO, and without the hustle or pressure, but through alignment, through intuition, and through selling offers that you love delivering, right? And this upgraded version of ILL, I'm so proud of, because I see us as like me and my team becoming true partners of our clients, like actual growth, you know, part of their business. Like we're helping them grow their business. We are there. Like I see them as becoming true partners and as us becoming true partners. And I really think that like that level of, you know, upgrade and then being able to explain this to clients in that room with them and seeing their immediate feedback was so valuable. Like seeing their reaction. And then like, of course, clients immediately wanted to renew for another year. So like we had several people, nearly everyone who came wanted to renew another year. All right. Even the ones that actually expired, like their year with me expires in September. Like they wanted to still renew until September 2027. So like it was like all this combination of being able to be there with them, reminding them of the space that they're in and like the transformation they've already had over the past year, and the path that they're walking on and they're going to be moving on from now on forward. I think just that IRL experience is so valuable. But also just events in general. I mean, everything from like big events to small, it doesn't really matter what kind of events, but just real person IRL events is what I see is going to be extremely unique. And I think like there's a lot of shitty events out there, boring ones that you don't really want to go to. So I'm talking about like VIP experiences. And again, it doesn't have to mean luxury. It's about like quality and intention behind that experience. So I really believe that having more of that in your offers and in your marketing strategy is what we're going to see is working very well. And we're going to see more of that and less of like maybe webinars, you know? And I personally have noticed that like if I do stuff like that, it can be even more profitable than doing a webinar. Like doing a webinar can be profitable, but like you still have to do a lot of things to prepare and spend money on the ads or whatever it is. And you could also take that money and spend it on an IRL event and it could be more profitable. Even though less people are invited, you could have like 1 or 2 clients from that event. And that's like giving you return on investment because your prices are already like high, right? So that's something that I really think we're going to be seeing. And then the last thing is like, this is not even a trend. This is more like, it's always been true. So that's why I think it's something to leave you with. If you're listening to this and you're feeling stressed about something, like you can use this as inspiration. But this lastly, what's going to win over all of this, like what's truly going to win over everything I just told you is knowing your client deeply, like knowing your ideal client deeply and very, very well is what's going to win over them. And being able to have conversations with your client where they are really sharing with you why they're dealing with this problem, why they haven't changed their situation, why they haven't taken action on it, why they're still where they are, and what they truly want, why they want that goal, why is that important to them, like truly understanding them deeply, not just superficially, not just like, well, my ideal clients, they want to sell more, or my ideal clients, they want to lose weight, or my ideal clients, they want to become good leaders. Like, no. I want you to define why they want to lose weight. What is it like about their self-worth or their deep, deep desires that makes them want to lose weight? Or what is it about their current leadership that makes them feel like they're not good leaders? How does that make them feel? How does that affect their everyday emotional state? How does that affect their career? How does that affect their relationship with their team? Like, I want, like, the deeper you know the client, the more you're going to be able to serve them. Because everything I just mentioned, this is like trends in the marketplace and this is like general, right? But what's still going to be important here is to understand like your true ideal client and not just know them superficially, but deeply, deeply, deeply. And understand all of the ins and outs of their lives, of their business, or their relationship, or their health, or whatever it is. Because 100% right now, you are missing parts of your ideal client because you haven't asked, because you haven't spoken to them, or because you haven't gone deep enough. And that's why you're struggling in this moment to convert, because you truly haven't gone deep enough. So that's where I want to leave you today. And I hope this was interesting. Again, would love to hear from you if you agree with me on these trends that I mentioned right now that I'm seeing. And again, like, it would be interesting to go back to this podcast episode, I think 2 years from now or 3 years from now, to see if I was right. Maybe we should do this every year and let's see if something happens, right? But Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for listening to this episode, and we'll talk soon again.